Hi everyone, Frankie D. Cruz here. I just want to talk about real quick how intense should your workout be and how exactly to work out for your goals. Alright, so first we have to ask ourselves, just how intense really? I mean, how intense should your workout be? Now, it is important to understand that all exercise intensity is relative. Okay, it's all relative to the individual. What might be intense for you might not be for me, and vice versa. And it depends on what your goal is. Because maybe you want to go ahead and maybe you want to get into running, but like you can't run for like 20 seconds before you go ahead and get out of breath. Well, guess what? That's intense to you. But for someone who's been running for over a year, that might be nothing to them. Okay? So it's important to know it is relative. It's all relative. Now, it is also directly related to rest. Okay? As we're going to discuss a lot during this video, the amount of time you have to rest is directly related to your workout intensity. Now, the intensity for exercises also train different energy systems, because you do have 3 different energy systems, okay? You have your oxidative energy system, which uses the oxygen, okay? The oxygen you breathe in, it goes ahead and goes through your blood. Then you have the glycolytic pathway, which goes ahead and uses the glycogen, okay, in your blood. And then you have the third system, which is your ATP-CP system, which, simply put, is where you can go ahead and use, that's where you're using the maximum amount of power. That's all it means. Alright? And as you can tell, or maybe you can't, but we'll get more into it in this video, that is a clear delineation of how intense your workout is. That's what energy system you're likely going to be training. Now, let's go ahead and define what you want. You have to get specific about exactly what you want to do. Alright, because it's not enough to just say, well, I want to have an intense workout. You got to understand what kind of workout is it. Alright, is it for hypertrophy, to get big muscles? Is it for endurance work? Is it just for pure strength or power? Alright, because every single one of them are going to have a different recommended level of intensity. Okay? Now, you also ask, what are you going to do to support that? Because it's not just enough to train one of them. You have to support it. All right, there has to be a whole support system around it. Because if there isn't, then your exercise needs and goals, they're going to be at odds if they don't all support one another. They're going to be at odds, and you are not going to get maximal results then. Now, we'll talk about the sliding scale next. Okay? So, first we're going to start with your endurance work. This has the least intense, but it has the most reps per set. Alright, this is going to be usually that like 15 to maybe even like 20 rep zone. That's considered a lot of reps. But that's what you do for endurance work, for say lifting weights. Now you might have a variety of reasons you want to do that. Maybe it's just normal aerobics and you just want to go ahead and make sure that you can go ahead and do all these you need to do in your daily life. And you just want to be able to make sure you can do it just normally. You don't get tired from it. Completely perfectly understandable and good goal to have. And then next, you have hypertrophy. Alright, this is your moderate intensity workout with moderate reps. This is from about, let's say, 8-ish reps to 12. Alright? Now, it's all in ranges, and it's not a hard guarantee, because I can say, oh, well, it's going to be 6 to 15 reps for hypertrophy, or it could be 8 to 12, or some other range. But ultimately, it's all going to come down to you. The only thing that can be said for sure is that it is of moderate intensity, and this is all based off of your 1 rep maximum. All right, so if you don't know how to figure that out, look at my stuff. I have videos explaining how to do all this kinds of stuff. Alright? Now, next we have is power. Now here's the next one, the sliding scale. This is the opposite end of endurance, because it's the most intense you can go ahead and get. But it also has the least number of reps per set. Alright? Because you cannot go ahead and do that many power-centric lifts. You just can't, by its very definition, because it's such a high intensity. You cannot go ahead and do that. And as such, volume opposes intensity. Okay, I want you to remember this. Volume opposes intensity. You're going to hear a lot about volume when you do research online, And ultimately what it comes down to is they're going to say, well, you have to do a whole lot of volume to go ahead and get results. But here's the thing is that by sheer definition of the more intense your exercises get, the less volume you have to do, because you cannot do that much volume of such a high intensity. You can't do that. You can't do that consistently either. This also brings up now something else. Right, we have to follow the laws of training. Because we know with more intensity, the more you're going to have to rest. Alright, the more stress you place in your body, the more you have to rest. Otherwise, that accumulation is going to eventually bring you to the exhaust stage. Alright, of general adaptation syndrome. We have to always keep that in mind. You cannot overtrain, because if you do, everything is undone. Everything. So how does one go against that, but not only the law of use and disuse? Because if you're resting a whole bunch, well, then suddenly you're not going ahead and using your muscles in your body all that often, so suddenly you're going against the law of use and disuse. So how do you go ahead and fight against that? Well, my friends, it's called the zigzag principle. Alright, it's very, very simple. You will have low intensity workouts following high intensity workouts. So all that means is, let's say on Monday, you're going to have your high intensity workout, alright, and then on Wednesday, you're going to have a low intensity workout. And then on that Friday, you're going to have the high intensity workout again. It's as simple as that, and it's not set in stone. It's not set in stone, because you could go ahead, let's say you need even more rest because your high intensity workouts are just that intense. Well, then go ahead and wait more. Do more low intensity workouts in between then. Because the point of the low intensity workout is to make sure that your body never gets used to not using it. But you still got to go ahead and get that active rest in there. That's all it's there for, and it is incredibly important. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff, and I will see you all in the next video.